Welcome to today's presentation class, my dear students of degree and second year honors non-credit. Our today's topic is right form of verbs. And in this very first class, I am Mohammad Helal Uddin, Assistant Professor, English, Govt Hazi Mohammad Mohsin College. I am with you in conducting this class. So after the class, my dear students, you will be able to know the rules of right form of verbs and to answer the question regarding right form of verbs. So there are some rules in English grammar. If you have these rules under your command, at your command, you can face English grammar better. So you will notice two group. Group 1, Group 2. Group 1, here you have modal auxiliaries: can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, have to, ought to, must, need, dare, etc. And in second group you will have a verb like late and two phrases had better and would rather. While handling with these groups, we will use, in every case, we will use the base form of verb. So, my dear students, when you will find this in your question paper, you will use the base form of verbs. Let us move to the example. Let us look at some example. Students ought to study regularly. So, ought to, as we have noticed ought to, we will use the base form of verb to study, that means study. So, ought to study regularly. You had better to wear a mask. Answer, you had better wear a mask. If modal auxiliary is plus be, then if you find that the modal auxiliaries are followed by the word be, auxiliary verb be, then we have to use past participle form of verb. Example, promises should be within bracket keep. As the modal auxiliary should is followed by auxiliary verb be, we will use the past participle form of keep, that means kept. So our answer will be promises should be kept. Second rule, universal truth, habitual fact and historical truth. These are the cases when we use present indefinite tense in the matter of using verb. So, let us have a look at the examples. The sun rises in the east. The sun, third person singular, it's universal truth. So, the sun rises in the east. The boy recites from the Holy Quran every day. The word every day, shows that it's a case of habit. So, it's a habitual fact. So, we will use present indefinite form So the boy recites. As the boy is third person singular, we will use s with the verb recite. The boy recites from the Holy Quran every day. And the third example, our independence war take place in 1971. So this is a historical truth. As it is a historical truth, we can here use present form in the matter of take. So the answer will be our independence war or war of independence takes place in 1971. Third rule. টু এর পর ভার্বের বেস ফর্ম হয় কিন্তু নিম্নলিখিত ফ্রেজের পর ভার্ব প্লাস আইএনজি হয়। That means it is usual normal to use a base form with to. But if this to is in the form of a phrase with a view to, look forward to, addicted to, devoted to, inclined to, get used to, preferred to, then after these phrases we will use verb plus ing. And again, cannot help, could not help, would you mind, never mind. With expressions like these, we will also use verb plus ing form. Let us look at some examples. I look forward to hear from you. Because of the presence of look forward to, the answer will be hearing. So I look forward to hearing from you. A teacher teaches his students with a view to give the light of education. After with a view to, we will use verb plus ing form. That means give will be giving. A teacher teaches his students with a view to giving the light of education. Third example, parents never mind take pains for the upbringing of their children. As take has the expression never mind, so take will take ing form, verb plus ing, taking. The correct answer will be parents never mind taking pains for the upbringing of their children. We normally use verb plus ing form after all preposition except to. For example, buy, get. So after, as buy is not to, after by preposition we will use verb plus ing. So by getting education, students can enlighten their inside. Rule 4, my dear students, we will look for expressions like it is time, it is high time, wish, fancy, and after all these things we will use past form of verb. It is high time, we within bracket check air pollution. As this sentence has the expression it is high time, we will use past indefinite form of check. So we will use checked. It is high time, we checked air pollution. Second example, I fancy I turned a triple pale. I fancy I turned a triple pale. Answer, as we have here noticed the presence of I fancy, so we will use the past form of turn, that is turned. I fancy I turned a trifle pale. Rule Number 5, since. We can notice 3 types of the use of since. Simple present oblique present perfect tense plus since plus simple past tense. Number 2, simple past tense plus since plus past perfect tense. Number 3, present perfect continuous tense plus since plus point of time. So we will take 3 examples to clarify these 3 points. It has been many years. It has been many years is present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. Since. So as since has present perfect tense with it, so we after since we will use simple past form. So the simple past form of see will be saw. So it has been many years since I saw you. Number 2, it was long since I see you. Here it was long, it's past indefinite form. So as since has past indefinite expression before it, so after since we will use past perfect tense. So it will be, the answer will be, it was long since I had seen you. I had seen you. The third example, I studied in this college since 2015. 2015 is the point of time. As since is followed by point of time, so we will use present perfect continuous tense before since. So the correct answer will be, I have been studying in this college since 2015. Rule 6, as if, as though. We can notice 2 types of use in the matter of as if or as though. First one, present indefinite tense plus as if or as though plus past indefinite tense. Number 2, past indefinite tense plus as if or as though plus past perfect tense. So we will now look for the examples to clarify these 2 things. First example, the speaker speaks present indefinite tense as though, so after as though he know everything. As though has present indefinite tense before it, so after as though the verb will be in the past indefinite form. So he knew. Know will be knew. He knew everything. Second one, the speaker spoke as though he know everything. In the second sentence, as though has past form spoke before it, so we will use past perfect tense after the expression as though he had known everything. A note, we have a note to remember, as if, as though, wish, this, if they are followed by 2V, then 2V will be where. We can't take a book as if it within bracket B medicine, as we have present form we can't take, and as if, so after as if we will use where instead of the be verb. So we can't take a book as if it were medicine. So now we will move to the rule number 7. List. In the case of list, list should be followed by should plus base form of verb. Example, Bayezid did not make any sound lest his mother wake up. So in this sentence we notice lest. So lest will be, according to the rule, lest will be followed by should plus base form of verb. So our answer will be, right answer will be, Bayezid did not make any sound lest his mother should wake up. Next rule, rule number 8. Always, occasionally, normally, regularly, every day, sometimes, generally, usually, often, daily. If we have these types of adverb, then the sentence will be in the present indefinite tense. The verb will be in the present or base form of the verb. In case of if the sentence subject is in the third person singular form, if the sentence subject is in the third person singular, then the verb will take s or es with it. So first example, I always walk in the morning. The answer will be I always walk, base form of verb. But in the second sentence, road mishap happen in our country almost every day. Road mishap, this sentence, this subject is third person singular. As it is third person singular, the verb will take s. Happen will be happens. So the correct answer will be road mishap happens in our country almost every day. Rule number 9, my dear student, we will use, if we notice the use of the words such as just now, recently, already, lately, yet, ever, never, etc., then the sentence will be in the present perfect tense, where subject will be followed by have or has, then the past participle form of verb. So they just finished their task. As we have noticed, it will take present, the verb will take present perfect tense form. They have just finished their task. Recently, road accident rise to an alarming rate, taking a heavy toll of human lives. The presence of the word recently makes the sentence use present perfect tense form. So recently road accident has risen to an alarming rate, taking a heavy toll of human lives. There we have rule number 10. If we encounter words indicating past such as yesterday, ago, long since, last year, last month, last night, last week, once, etc. Then we will use past indefinite tense in the case of using verb. And we can look at the two examples. First, once there lived an idle king. Once there lived, because of the presence of the word once, the verb will be in the past indefinite form lived. So once there lived an idle king. Then number 2, last autumn vacation I get sufficient time. The word last indicates that we have to use past indefinite form with the verb get. So last autumn, the correct answer will be last autumn vacation I got sufficient time. This is the use of the rule of using while. While plus verb. If we notice while immediately before verb, then the verb will take ing form. But if we notice while plus subject plus verb, then there will be the use of past continuous tense. So we can illustrate the two things by two examples, with the help of two examples. While walk in the garden, he was beaten by a snake. So walk, before walk there is while and there is no use of subject. So the answer will be walking. While walking in the garden, he was beaten by a snake. Number 2, while he walked in the garden, he was beaten by a snake. So we find that in the case of second example, while is followed by subject, then we find verb. In such cases, we will use past continuous form of verb. So while he was walking in the garden, he was beaten by a snake. Rule 12. This rule 12 introduces the use of if. If plus present indefinite plus future indefinite. So if we notice the existence of present indefinite tense with if, and then the main clause will be in the future indefinite tense. If the if clause has present indefinite tense, then the main clause or principal clause, the verb in the principal clause, will take future indefinite form. If he works hard, he shine in life. Answer: if he works hard, he will shine in life. Number 2, I will not go out if it rain. If the principal clause is in the future indefinite form, then the if clause or first conditional will take present indefinite tense in verb. So the rain in the second example will be rains. So the correct answer will be I will not go out. I will not go out if it rains. Rule number 13. This rule is with the use of passive form. In the matter of passive form, we will use be verb before the main verb, and the main verb will take past participle form. To illustrate this point, we can go through a couple of examples. English speak all over the world. So our answer will be in the passive form of verb. So English is spoken. English is spoken all over the world. And the second one, English learn to communicate with the foreigners for various purposes. Answer will be in the passive form. That means learn is learned. So the correct answer will be English is learned to communicate with the foreigners for various purposes. We have here before and after. In the case of using before, before we use past perfect tense, and before we use past indefinite tense. We use past indefinite tense before after, and we use past perfect tense after. So I finished my work before he came. So I have to use here, according to the rule, past perfect tense. I had finished my work before he came. The students stood up after the teacher. So after the teacher entered the class, according to the rule, the correct answer will be had entered. So my dear class, these are the 14 rules I have here for you. In our next class, we will further elaborate our rules, and till then, Allah Hafiz. Stay home and stay safe.